on the eve of Halloween. So, at least in this respect. So I guess I do my Halloween special tomorrow. So I do it like at midnight anyway. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I'm going to keep it a surprise, if that matters. So the end of the Matrix. There's different ways of looking at that. And also, that's okay. Underwater city, Imperial Earth. That was supposed to have like a slash there, but that's okay. That was kind of eerie. I've looked at this before. The Imperial Earth. It comes from the game BioShock. I'll show that. It's like a city that's underwater. It's like I'll go into the whole game thing too, but I've talked about this before in the past too. Video games are like other versions of Earth, but it's another way. Well, just to go into it. So like people that play these games, let's just take the shooter games, like BioShock or Resident Evil, whatever it is. I can't remember all. Some other ones that are Call of Duty. Which I have to look at Call of Duty. I think that's a pretty popular one. It's all about shooting people apparently. I'm just looking at it real quick. Gee, that sounds very welcoming. That looks very, very. Geez. Yeah, I'll show that in a second. Anyway, so you play these video games. So think like another way of looking at it, like you had a lifetime in that world. Yeah, especially if a game that you might be obsessed with, or somebody's obsessed with, or however you want to look at it. Another one's Halo. It's usually shooter games, which says a lot about this universe or other universes, or either way. I'll go into that a little bit, but so you have this life on like a war planet. Of course, this is a war planet, and you get shot or things didn't go the way you wanted it to. You incarnate in a world like ours, and here it's a video game. So here you try to master that game to a certain level. So when you leave this world, you can go back into that realm. Now you might do it astrally, but I believe you have to reincarnate and do it again at a different capacity, but try to solve that reality, whatever you need to learn from it. So, and like video games, people are pretty obsessed with it. So it's like you go into that other realm. And some of those games look very realistic, which VR will be eventually. This whole Facebook meta thing is like a cartoon hell, basically. But eventually it'll get more realistic and people will get addicted to it. Now, they might also help to solve their problems in their life, too. Also, it'll create more problems, too, to a certain level, because I think social, which is interesting about virtual reality, especially if you're talking to other real people in there. So it's like we're in a virtual reality now. So you go into another one and you might feel more comfortable there because you're more of the avatar you want to be. And it actually probably can heal a lot of social anxiety if you connect to other people that you have some kind of connection with. So in this reality, if you feel like you can't connect to anybody, you go into virtual reality, you connect to all kinds of people. So it's different. That's happening now, of course, but yeah, anyway. And the Reptilian Earth, basically it's like I've said this before too, but you wonder what a reptilian world. It's not just reptilians; it's other beings, but I just use them for example. Obviously, we're here in human form, but we have an idea of what it's like to be on a reptilian planet. You see all the chaos energy here. You look at Twitter; it's all chaos. The idea for like the felines, like not all feline beings are chaotic beings, but they go through their chaos, they get attacked, wherever it might be, they end up here. There's different ways of looking at Wera or the feline worlds. Some of them are, really positive, don't understand negativity, but some do, and they bring a lot of trouble to their world, whatever it might be. So, it's their paradise planet. Some of them are just kind of bad apples, and they kind of piss off everybody in the solar system. Then they bring trouble to their planet, and so on. That hasn't happened. I think it happened at someone's. I think it happens at Thanksgiving all the time, actually, or Christmas for some people. You have this nice party, and others come in and ruin everything. So it happens over and over again here. But think about you have these chaotic feline beings, chaotic reptilian beings, and so on. And insectoid beings. Also, there's insectoid beings. A lot of them are actually scientists and all that too. But they incarnate here. Now they're trying. They have some kind of chaotic energy that come. Or not everybody here is chaotic, but quite a few are. Like I say, look at social media on the chaos that's going on there. And once you heal the chaos within yourself, not the easiest thing, but when you step away from all this stuff and not let it affect you so much, and I think that's when the real healing begins, and that's when you step out of the matrix altogether. So ending of the matrix, you end it for yourself. The world is still sucked onto it, obviously, right? But it's good that you're having these different points of view and putting it out there publicly if you want to. You don't have to. You can just, if you don't want to be public, you can put the energy out there for your knowledge to be known, and somebody will pick up on it and make it public if it's necessary. And it's just a whole nother, I guess it's convoluted, I guess. It's just, but yeah, you can heal. I mean, the matrix is just another way of looking at this reality. It's just a term. I mean, you can, dome, term, make whatever. You can't, this is a learning platform. We're not here to solve everything. Because you have feline beings, you have all these different extraterrestrial beings, you have pig beings, you have all this. I'm not going to go into all that. The Palladian Syrians, I'll just keep it simple. You can go on and on with all that, different bird beings. And this has to have a dictionary of all these different alien beings, and most won't know what you're talking about half the time anyway. So, but yeah, basically the idea is to heal your own reality. So you don't get pulled into this place. So you don't have to pull into the constant reincarnation cycle, because obviously those that are holding on to the chaotic energy, like you see on Twitter and stuff like that, for example, that's like if they don't get something resolved in this life, they come back. If you're not getting certain situations resolved, whatever it might be, either it's race or relationships, whatever it might be, or trying to save the world. And you can try to save the world and fail many, many incarnations, which is, if that's the thing you got to do, that's what you got to do. Yeah. And some aren't ready to save themselves, so they'd rather save the world. I've seen that before. Yeah, it's nothing like seeing an alcoholic that's extremely toxic trying to save the world at a bar and manipulating the hell out of everybody at the same time. Yeah, demonic beings that incarnate here are quite, I guess entertaining it's entertaining at a distance, not being around it. Being around it kind of sucks, but anyway. So go into all this. Yeah, you can tap into this stuff and go crazy at the same time. So I was talking comment private sessions. We have a schedule. We have a shop. I forget where I'm at. I'm somewhere in October. Same situation here. We have the upcoming event. We're not going to go to the Grand Canyon, but we're going to just hang out and party. And I don't think the calendar has been but either way. So I'll be doing definitely probably a channeling on Wednesday. They'll update it eventually. So webinar coming up and behind the scenes. So yeah, the parallel Earth energies. So to go into that a little bit, of course that's Bioshock. Oh no, this is Call of Duty. Fun. It's the fun dimension. Jeez. Talk about a lot of. Jeez. Okay. Anyway, Fritzy's here. So I have Halo. Oh, that's pretty popular. Now, this interesting about Halo. This is like secret space program stuff. This is definitely has a strong SSP frequency, and that's where people can get confused too. But it's definitely a parallel Earth of it, and this is a pretty popular. Yeah, this is definitely just a war. Yeah, just like a war universe. You can also say like the human is not even human anymore. It's almost robotic. So that's, I mean, you might have somebody behind it, but you put on this costume, you're basically like a machine at this point. So, and that's Fritzy in the background. Cities. It has yeah, very advanced. Gee, that's quite impressive. Oh, I guess it has a TV series. Yeah, it might look fancy, but there's a lot of artificial intelligence. I mean, this is basically your secret space program. At least one look into it. Yeah. So people doing the SSP memories and all that. This is definitely your place. So Bioshock. Okay, well, that thing about Halo though is that it's still relevant even now. Even, I mean, all these different versions of the games. Like, geez, 2001 till now. Wow, that's a long. That says a lot. It really does. I'll have to explore this more in the future. I mean, I've looked at this before, but now I'm seeing more of the SSPs. I don't really focus on SSP that much, but there's definitely something there with parallel realities for sure. And Bioshock, this is the city under the world. It's interesting. This statue inspired the game. So yeah, Bioshock. Basically the city is pretty much underwater. It's like a shooter game. Yeah. So, but this statue, which is in Rockefeller Center, that inspired it. So think about walking by a statue like this and being triggered by another reality. And that's pretty much what happened. And it created this whole game system. It created this whole reality. All of it, they're still making it now. I'm not looking that hard on it, but maybe it was only 2007. You got a movie coming out on it. So yeah, definitely if they make a TV show, that would be interesting. But think about a statue. This is Atlas, which is also connected to Atlantis. I bet the snake on his leg. I won't be surprised. That is a little bit weird there. It's like, yeah. That's like some kind of dragon or serpent or something like that. I can't get a good view of it. Anyway, I guess it's a snake. That's another. Anyway, move on from that. But Bioshock, yeah, City Under the Sea. So that's another part of your awakening, or yeah, that's just But it's all shooter games. I guess they're just trying to get out their aggression. Also, the Destiny game, which I haven't got too much into that. There's a lot of there's some SSP stuff, a little bit of that. It's more of a fantasy realm, more kind of like an Agarthian realm. That looks like a religious reality there, but it's always these shooter games. And Call of Duty is like, damn. Yeah, Call of Duty is there's a lot there that needs to be healed. It's almost like I can't face myself. I'm gonna go shoot stuff. It's like, yeah, talk about it's Gotta love it. It's just a war dimension. Just, jeez, just, yeah, Call of Duty. Just, yeah. Well, yeah, I could say it's another SSP reality. I don't know. It's yes and no on that one. It kind of is and it kind of isn't. It feels a lot of it's propaganda too. I don't know. It's just I'm getting kind of mixed energies on this one. It's almost like, yeah, this is like military indoctrination for our dimension. Like if you want to be indoctrinated to the war effort here, this is what Call of Duty. So it's not necessarily another version of Earth. It's more about our Earth, and just to get you to join the army. That's the vibe I'm getting from that. But Halo, yeah, this is definitely secret space program. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, that is completely fascinating, though. Yeah, jeez. Anyway, enough of that one. So, all right, so ending the matrix within yourself. Not getting pulled into all this nonsense of the world, all this. Yeah. Eventually, you graduate. Yeah, where the spirit realm. When you start seeing the spirit realm for what it really is, because I believe people don't really fully understand it. Some take the spirit world, put on a pedestal, and come to find out that there's a lot of parts of the spirit realm that they don't know what the hell they're doing. And yeah, it's not always completely. They screw up a lot. Let's put it that way. I don't think that's fully understood. Not really. Like spirit guides, higher self, they might. Yeah, I mean, there's good parts to both of them, but the higher self can also have a lot of. It can be under attack, and it can go through its own self, healing. Its own self trying to figure itself out. And this is the higher self in the spirit realm. So that's why we come here to kind of clear out a lot of that out. So it's you can do it in other places, but either way, the spirit realm connected to this planet is way off. I feel like it's not really understanding our realm that well. It kind of does, but it doesn't have the best communication skills. Obviously, because you don't have society talking to the spirit realm, right? And that partly is because our world, but also the spirit realm doesn't know what the hell they're doing at times. So anyway, we'll just move on from that. One day, all that. So all right, okay, we're going to the Matrix realm. So tap in just to the Earth Matrix. Some of that might be Gaia's energy, and then go into the Parallel Earth frequencies and Reptilian Earth. We just get a different perspective of it. So, okay, what's this? Brings you. We are the consciousness of your matrix reality. We'll just say we are just an energy field, basically, to create physical devices, the physical, a couch, realize in your mind you want a couch or you need a chair or a place to live. It is manifested in your soul, in your mind, and eventually will find its way into your physical realm when it's necessary. So you can manifest your physical realm, so you can also manifest your non-physical realm, which also what your aliens are connected to. Of course, you have a contract here as a physical being, so it can't just snap your fingers and the physical world just disappears. There is still much to learn from it, but you don't have to just get pulled into the propaganda of your reality, which are many beings that are trying to suck on your soul, basically. Well, they're going to do it as long as they can. You can say that society is kind of computer generated, but it's organic, it's non-organic, it's different devices that are used on your planet, and it's up to you to feed it. As many of you know, you're not feeding the creature, the monster called their reality. You step back. You might sleep more, going more into the astral realm. Because you go into the astral realm, you do get downloads, and you wake up. You might not have all the memories of it, but it's in your being, and you say what you need to say. Sometimes, especially when you're in a social engagement, like you have friends, family, and all of that, you're very careful in how you don't want to like open up too much because they're not always ready. So you're just being kind to their frequency. Obviously, you're being good to yourself too, but it's stepping away from friends and family. Connect to the right friends and family. Let's put it that way, and I'll help you connect more to your higher self or higher dimensional energies. So basically, some silence for yourself. So if you have time for yourself, but you're still thinking about everyone else, and that's fine. But when more of you think about more of you and your development, just close that off for at least an hour to the rest of the world and connect more to yourself. Slowly, you'll be able to have that come through of your astral self and what's necessary you need to know. Yeah, not too worried. Some want to ask for them to learn their powers back. Some have, yes, had their powers revoked because they've misused them in many incarnations. Obviously, they might be a little bit bitter about that. And they can spend their whole life with no powers. And I mean, you have some powers, but not the powers that they want. There's a whole story on that one. But the matrix energy here, yes, you can define it however you want. Yes, it's good to have your own versions of your reality, like what you're seeing. If it's the SSP realms, it's good to explore that as much as you can. If it's the Christ consciousness, it's good to explore that. Whatever you need to, heal. It's to go. If you have to wake up every day thinking about the Yeshua energy, the Christ consciousness, and please do. If you wake up every day feeling like the dome of reality is around your earth or a flat earth realm, it's good to continue to explore that because it's talking to you. And it's like a fragment of yourself there. So also the SSP energies can be very extremely defragmented in those realms where, you don't even know yourself. Like you're piecing yourself together because you can go through many wars in these other realities, war dimensions, and you're so far removed from yourself. Putting yourself together has to take it easy. And, it's some of you already know this already, obviously. Some are very potent to the religious realms of all these different religious versions of Earth that can be quite intense. That can really separate you from who you are today. Without going into too much detail on that. Brings you. We are the multiverse consciousness. There are an infinite amount of realities, obviously constantly flowing. So yes, in a human form, it can make you go slightly crazy because you're not always, because there are versions of reality or worlds where you feel you're more in tune to yourself than you are in the current one. The current Earth is some of you are sent here for certain reasons. Sometimes you get kicked out of a reality and end up here, and you want to get back to the other reality. You can be literally kicked out of a positive reality of Earth, because you might be naive there. You might not always understand their teachings. Like, there's light and dark here, and it's like you might be part of this positive version of Earth, and they're like, yeah, you might be part of the positive version of Earth, but you're not understanding the dark side to avoid it. Many are kind of bringing into their energy. Basically, they're bringing in that chaotic energy. It's like in positive versions of Earth, it's like we don't want that chaotic realm, so they send you here for you to deal with, to understand it. Because it's just like being born rich, and you don't know how it is to feel poor. So those, in the high dimensional versions of Earth will send you here to a chaotic planet to understand all of this. And you can have a grandfather, a father, or some kind of family member. Usually it's a family member, so you can have friends send you here too, just to get a different perspective. And it might not always make itself clear. Now, also in these other versions of Earth, yes, the Halo energies or the fighting the boss, the big bad guy. Yeah, things can go really wrong there, and you'd be sent to this Earth, kicked out. Well, sometimes you get too close to the mothership or the being that's controlling that reality, and you get sent. Like you might be a coma in another reality, but your consciousness is here in this one. And in that reality eventually come to once you figure out what you need to understand here, whatever it might be. Because these other parallel realities can bring a toxic timeline for you here. Yeah, it's not entirely a prison. It can't be seen as that, but it doesn't have to be seen depicted at that. And a lot of souls are still not figuring themselves out. They're still, well, yeah, it's funny that karmic beings that are thinking, some beings are going to get a lot of karma here for things that they do. Let's put it that. I don't feel like they're doing anything wrong, but be surprised. Let's put it that way. That's a little bit cryptic with that. But connected to your parallel self and those realities, yeah, it can be quite liberating too. Because also, like, there's a civil war reality. There's America, where America dominates the planet itself. Also, there's realities where Africa dominates the planet. There's also realities where China dominates the planet. It kind of dominates at a certain level, so other versions of Earth are trying to force that, but it's not working so much as they'd like to. And even American domination isn't, there are versions of Earth where, yes, the American Earths are trying to dominate other versions of Earth, such as this one, but obviously it's not working out as they like to. So, but clearing out your own frequency, connecting more to your higher self, not the easiest. Yes, the spirit world is still fragmented itself. Well, as you graduate into the higher realms, you'll see more of the spirit realm more clearly. You'll see trickster beings at their highest. Well, they get more attracted to you too. As you get more into the higher dimensions, the trickster beings are trying to lower your energy to keep you here. So, yes. Brings you. We are the reptilians. We're also connected to the insectoids. Also, there are Arcturians. But you can say that the beings that cause a lot of this chaotic energy, well, they're searching for knowledge, and they say they got more than they were bargained for. But you're seeing the Archon energy. Basically, here on your Earth, the Archons are kind of bragging about themselves currently. Well, they're bragging. They're not being fully explained, at least on a mainstream level, meaning that there are beings talking about themselves, but they're not, yes, not having any resolutions to it, because they're not about to do that. They just explain that they're kind of controlling your reality, and there is no solution. But the solution is to clear out the mind parasite energies, which is connected to the chaotic frequencies, the divide. It doesn't mean you have to go around and connect to everybody and try to heal that divide, because many are not ready for that. But they divide you, obviously, so you can't come together, as you already know that. So the chaos is to keep you separated, defragmented, and keep this physical realm under control, obviously. This is a reptilian way of doing things. Reptilian beings, and there's other alien beings that take the Archon parasite and just throw it on a world and let it do its thing and separate society. It's like that automatically they find the vulnerabilities. They can go into the skin tissue, they can go into the mind, whatever it might be. So as you become more, obviously the world is a little bit not spiritually understanding this, because the definition, some don't want to hear the definition because they still have to learn from this physical realm, meaning that they're just, it's up to the soul. When they're ready to pull away from the chaotic frequencies, they can learn more about themselves. So many are enjoying the ride. It's like a roller coaster. Even if they say they're not, they're just not, there's something about it that they need to learn from before they can fully let it go. Like a sponge. They're just sucking it all in while they can. So in your own soul development, eventually you might see the reptilians running this planet I mean, they're not going to attack anybody at first, but over time they'll just let you do whatever you are. Basically become more fourth dimensionally aware. And you just be talking crazy, basically, as some of you already are. I would just continue on and just still be yourself. And basically, it's just to see how this is all put together. Because some can't heal the chaos within themselves because they've been through so much trauma. But some of you can find ways to separate yourself from that frequency. Governments are chaotic. Why do you think government does the way it does? Raises prices, raises inflation, does all this. It's like a chaotic creature. Hollywood itself is trying to define itself. Sometimes there's darkness, sometimes there's light there. It can improve the world, but also can make it a worse place. So it's, as you already know that. But for reptilian beings here, this is not just a reptilian. There's other beings here that just, they do call this place home. It's basically, yes, they're looking for knowledge, but they find it sometimes in all the wrong places. Like what happened to this planet? Well, they feel like they're going further. Some beings feel like they're going deeper into themselves. When come to find out, they're just bringing, well, they were discovering a more darker side of themselves, more of the chaotic nature, which brought out, it's like individually, the chaotic, individually, the society is bringing one chaos after the other throughout society. And now you're trying to heal that within yourself so the world can get more balanced. There's still going to be some chaotic frequency, but you'll be able to notice it better. It's just not, it's just like it's an entity practically. It's like the teacher of the soul, you can say. And once you start healing that, becoming more calmer, more quiet, meaning that you just step away from the loudness of reality. You can still speak, of course, but quietness helps you see clearly. Doesn't mean you have to be quiet all the time, but just stepping away makes it easier for you to connect more to your higher dimensional self and connect, a lot more of the astral energies. It's strengthening within you.